Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to this quick wrap up of what the market is doing in Atlanta and what we've seen in 2019. And we're even going to give you a projection for 2020. I'm really excited today because I have some very special people on. I have a couple of my clients who are millennials, and they're going to tell us about how simple or easy it is to buy a home. They have a beautiful home and I help them, and they're millennials. They're so young and they already own a home and it is gorgeous. It's perfect for them. So we're going to do a little conversation with them. But first off, we have our president and CEO of Atlanta Fine Homes, Sotheby's International Realty. David Bamick is here. He's down in our Atlanta Buckhead office. Good afternoon. Well, I guess it is afternoon now. Hey, David.
Yes, good afternoon.
Gosh, the lobby looks so pretty there behind you with all the wreaths, and we're ready for the holiday, right?
Yeah, and it smells great in here too, just like Christmas.
Oh, that's what we used to call smell-o-vision, by the way. When you put that out there, that it smells good where you are. Okay, so first off, I'm doing this because people, I think, need to be educated, and a lot of people want to know, because who doesn't love having a happy home to come home to, and especially when it's yours to love. So first off, if you want to give us a quick wrap up of 2019, how were the home sales and what'd you see?
Well, for 2019, it was actually ended up being a pretty good year. It started off a little bit slow, but inventory began to build in the second half of the year. Sales ended up a little higher than was anticipated. And the pending sales, those new contracts that are coming into the market over the last couple of months, have been up over the same period last year. So we're ending the year with some good energy, which will hopefully kickstart 2020.
Okay, so when you say sales were up, you said about how much do you think they were up?
Okay, so closed sales were up right at 7%.
Okay.
And pending sales, those new sales were up a little bit, new listings on the market were up 7%, and closed sales were actually up 2.6%.
So how do you think that fares, though, in years in the past, and something we've talked about before? The projections were not crazy, but they were actually pretty steady, and that's a good sign, really.
It is a good sign. And what's interesting is this time last year we were anticipating modest growth, and it actually started out slower in the first part of the year. And so what ended up happening is we had to catch up through the second half of the year to be able to have these positive results we're now enjoying.
Yeah, I felt that too, the first part of the year. For me personally, as an agent, it was a slow start too. So, but that's good because the economy's still good and people are still making an investment in their homes, even though it's not 17, 18%, which can be frightening actually. At 2.6% is steady growth, as you mentioned.
It is great.
So, okay, new pending sales up 7%. Let's dig into that a little bit more. Where does that put us?
Well, so what that means is that the current activity, in other words, contracts that have been written over the last 90 days or so, are up 7% over that same period in the prior year, which is a good leading indicator for January and February. As we wrap up the year and get in the first part of next year, it's a good indicator that the backlog is building, so that we should start off the year a little stronger than we did in the prior year.
Okay.
And additionally, from that standpoint, of course, when people are buying homes, they put earnest money down, and the amount of earnest money that we have on deposit is also up a fair amount over the prior year, again, which is another leading indicator.
Okay, so people are still buying their homes.
People are still buying homes, and in all price points, too.
Yeah, and when you talk about the metro area, we've got in town, and sometimes Atlanta is an interesting city because we have all these separate pockets of homes and all the different communities. What you see in town you could get a whole lot more in another community out of town than what you might spend and get for the home in town. But it's hard to kind of give one big number to the entire metro area.
It is hard to give one number, and you bring up a good point. So if we talk about closed sales being up 2.6% so far this year, if I just look in the Buckhead market, for example, closed sales over the most recent quarter are actually down just a little bit. But at the same time, nearby in that in-town market, sales are up 17%. So
Good.
they can vary based on where the market is and what's happening in that particular sub-market.
Okay, so for next year, 2020, we're all sitting around and thinking, I'm sure there are people out there who might be thinking, well, is it time for me? I've been thinking about this a while. Should I sell my home? Should we look into buying a home? Maybe something a little more downsizing or even upsizing, getting something you've really always wanted, a pool or whatever. Are people, you think, pretty confident that they're going to do pretty well next year if they do decide to take the leap and buy a home in 2020?
I do. I think consumer confidence is at a really good level. Interest rates are at really good levels. They're historically, obviously, very low, and they've been low for some period of time. But the key thing is, when you're talking about somebody buying a home, you're talking about, their lifestyle. You're talking about raising families. You're talking about things that are so much more important than a percentage point up or down in appreciation. You're talking about people moving on with their lives. And I think all of the underlying components of strength that make that decision easier are in place. With unemployment being so low and with the stability in the stock market and that continuing to grow, you've got a lot of things that are positive and heading in the right direction.
Yeah. And David, I mean, Sotheby's is a world recognized company. We're showing some video now of some of the marketing and all the things that we can do and provide our clients. And some of these homes are, a little more beautiful than, me or some people may really ever be able to acquire. But at Sotheby's, I mean, we have the brand name and we can offer a client a lot, no matter what level of home people are looking into.
They are. The Sotheby's International Realty Experience, and in our case, the Atlanta Fine Home Sotheby's International Realty Experience, is really based on that relationship with the agent and how that agent delivers that service. It's really not depending upon price point. So whether it's a $200,000 home or a $2 million home, it's really about the experience and how that agent makes the customer feel.
I know. I get asked that all the time. Oh, you don't take a home for 200,000. I'm like, absolutely I do. And there's some really wonderful homes for $200,000 out there, and I've helped people buy those homes. So, it is, Sotheby's is recognized as that, but we also across the board provide the same.
Yes.
The
Yes.
same service. So I want to encourage people, if anybody has a question for David, he's been doing this for 20-something years. In fact, a CEO and president of our company. You just got a new, new title, I was told, recently with our company.
Yes, I was president. Now I'm president and CEO.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And so easy to work with and so fun to work with, too, because you're always approachable. And then I read your bio and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should be nervous talking to him. And I'm not, because you are always approachable. And no matter what, if we have a question for you, you always have a very solid, good answer. So if anybody has any questions for David, here he is. If anybody on Facebook right now wants to ask a question. Donna, are we getting any questions out there? Because we would love for David to be thrown a curveball and asked a question. And if not, we're going to go ahead and to show one of our favorite things about our company is the spirit. And if you even look around, like all of those poinsettias behind you, the wreaths and everything are so beautiful. We walk into the office, but we have like one little guy, or he's actually a big guy because he's the CHO of our company. That's Chief Happiness Officer. Where's the Chief Happiness Officer?
He's right here.
Oh, look at that
He's on duty
fella.
today.
Look at him. Oh my gosh. Is he hey Toby. Hey buddy, where's your red necklace?
Toby just got out of makeup. He's a little shy.
Doesn't Toby have a special little story, David?
He does. He was a rescue. He was found in the aftermath of the Tuscaloosa tornado about 6 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And was found with two broken legs. One of them had already healed or had already fused, and they took him in and operated on the other one, and he's been a special place in our hearts ever since. And he brings a smile to the face of not only the people in my family, but also the family here at Atlanta Fine Homes.
I know. Every time you come in there, he really does walk up to everyone and greet them. Well, he kind of has that cute little limp, too. Bye, Toby. Thank you. He doesn't weigh that much, David, does he? Hey, David, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to say to anybody out there who might want to know some of the smart and information that you can provide? Anybody, just like what we can do in a protecting ourselves or just looking toward the future with our homes?
Well, I would just say when it comes to buying or selling a home, it's great advice to use one of our professional agents instead, especially when it comes to the negotiating the finer points, Stacy, and they would be well served by seeking your guidance.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, David. You're awesome. Happy weekend, and we'll see you at the Christmas party Monday.
Sounds good. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Again, that was David Famig. He's our CEO and president for Atlanta Fine Homes, Sotheby's International Realty. Thank you so much, and thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit. So coming up in a few minutes, we're going to go to a quick commercial break first, but I want to introduce you to a couple of my clients who have been so wonderful, and they're millennials, and I help them purchase their first home, and they love it. So stick around, and we're going to talk to them in just a few minutes.
It's always fantastic feedback about Donna and her team. It makes a big difference, especially when you're dealing with professionals who aren't used to being in, a video environment.
I just couldn't have had a video marketing tool any better.
From beginning to end, Pro Video Talent was nothing but professional and produced a fantastic video for us. Pro Video Talent was very convenient in the sense that everything was under one roof. From the narration to the production to post-production, it was easy because we didn't have to go through several different companies in order to get our video produced.
It's always fantastic feedback about Donna and her team. It makes a big difference, especially when you're dealing with professionals who aren't used to being in, a video environment.
just couldn't have had a video marketing tool any better.
From beginning to end, Pro Video Talent was nothing but professional and produced a fantastic video for us. Pro Video Talent was very convenient in the sense that everything was under one roof. From the narration to the production to post-production, it was easy because we didn't have to go through several different companies in order to get our video produced.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to our monthly Facebook Live here. I'm so excited to have some special friends with me. So we're doing these Facebook Lives once a month, and every month I try to have on somebody different and a professional, somebody who talks about the market or talks about getting an inspection or how you get your loan and all of that good information that you can really use when going to buy a home or sell your home. Well, I want to introduce you today to two people who they were so much fun to work with. They were my clients. They still are my clients, and they're millennials. I want to tell you, I'm just going to say their age. Don't ask me my age. She's 24. James, I don't know how old you. Wait, this is Ann and James Razmakovich, right? Close enough.
Close enough. We'll give it to you.
Yeah. Okay, very close. Ann and James are. And she's 24. And James, how old are you?
26.
26.
Yes.
So they're 24 and 26-year-old homeowners. And I mean, how cool is that really? I mean, first off, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for
you.
leaving your
Thank you.
home. How's your home?
Amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, there's really not much work we had to do with it. So it was one of those that we just moved in, and it was pretty perfect for first time.
So they came to me, they were referred by another friend, Erica, another millennial, and they were just looking for a home, and they knew kind of what neighborhood, and we got out there, and we looked at several homes, but a lot of the ones we looked at in the price point were nothing that you really wanted, right? I mean, you knew right away. Some we just opened the door and closed the door, right? So, I mean, tell me, if you were to tell somebody, 24 and 26-year-old homeowners, that's a pretty big deal. Congratulations. I mean,
Thank you.
people could be scared of that. How has it been? How's the experience?
It's been different. Having our own home, I mean, we've definitely had, some curveballs thrown our way. But like I said, it's just nice to finally, find a home where there's very little to do inside, is in perfect shape. It's just different things of, getting ready to be a homeowner, just having everything thrown at you.
But were you scared, though, at that age? We're showing pictures of your home right now. I mean, look, you have 3-car garage. Who has that at 24 and 26 years old? What's it like you must tell your friends, and they're like, what, you own a home?
Yeah, I think honestly the biggest curveball that we had was going from apartment living in Atlanta where you don't have lawn. Like it's Atlanta. My commute was bad. James's was worse.
Oh, yeah.
So we knew we had to move west of the city. And then we eventually discovered We were in the house for like maybe a week, and we were like, oh my gosh, we have nothing to take care of a lawn. That was the biggest thing that we were just like, oh my gosh, we now have a responsibility for the outside of something.
So you had to go and buy a lawnmower and some other weed eater, or did you hire somebody?
No, we're still
'Cause that's a
getting
big
there.
yard we're
It
looking
is.
at.
It is. It's luckily there's not too much grass, but like Ann was saying, within that first week, we actually one of the neighbors' trees fell in our front yard. So
What? You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of like welcome to the neighborhood.
Okay.
So we kind of had to. I went out and got a chainsaw. So I was like,
So you learned how to
I
chainsaw a
learned
tree.
how to cut a tree, and then I started splitting the wood, learning how to split the wood, and it was definitely something you want to see in an apartment.
So
Yeah.
So we've been rocking the chainsaw life. We have yet to get a lawnmower.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're just hoping that the grass stays asleep until spring.
yeah, it was.
And it might. This is Georgia.
Exactly.
This is Atlanta. There's a lot of clay down
Exactly.
there.
Exactly.
So how was the process, though, going through the loan process and being organized? What makes you at 24 and 26 years old want to have that responsibility of this pretty big home? Over 2,000 square feet.
Yeah, it is. I think it was just, I'd been in Atlanta we're both from New Jersey, so we were both transplants. I was in Atlanta for 2 years before James. I'd been in Buckhead, I'd been in Dunwoody, and it was just time, I'd kind of experienced like the suburbs, but I was looking for more of like the New Jersey feel. And I think we were just kind of ready to have our space. We have a little dog. And it was just an important time to like really get our space, like start meeting neighbors, just kind of having that kind of life. We've had a couple campfires out in the back, so it's been a lot of fun.
So a lot of people moving here may think, well, I want to live in the city near the
Yes.
Beltline, or at your age, I want to live where we can walk to restaurants.
Exactly.
You didn't choose that
We
route.
didn't.
No, and it's been some of our friends still living in the city. I guess we've been suburbanized, or so, because there's times they'll have something at their apartments, and I'm like, I don't want to go there. I want to stay at my house.
It's very true.
So you don't
That's
even
happened.
go? You don't
No,
go?
there's-
You can invite them to your house,
Yeah,
right?
that's what we're
Exactly.
Then they
big
may
on.
not leave. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. But we're like, we have guest rooms now. You can hang.
Yeah.
It's
But some of them, talking to them, it's funny because they're like, we don't want to live in the suburbs. We want to stay in the city. So it's interesting to see, what people like and what they're looking for.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. What about the loan process? Was that pretty simple and pretty easy? Or
It was overwhelming at first. I think like when you're initially like comparing everything and you're like, oh my gosh, like there's all these acronyms. I don't know what any of them mean. But I mean, everyone we worked with, like obviously you included, really helped go through that process and kind of break it down into what we really cared about. And really helped kind of get a handle. And I mean, you can't beat the South for like their niceness in terms of just responsiveness and just I couldn't ask for a better process.
yeah.
Everyone was on top of it, and we'd always get phone calls,
Yes.
telling us what's next and what to do, and it made it very easy.
Yeah.
What would you tell millennials who might be thinking of putting their money into an investment like this? Because we were talking earlier about how people have this big, beautiful wedding, and they may spend a lot of money on a wedding, but you chose to kind of have more of just a nice wedding,
Yes.
but take a lot of your money maybe and put it toward a down payment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't do bad for Jersey. I think we stayed, within our budget, and
We did.
we still had, we both loved our wedding venue, and we had a great time.
We did.
I think we were just thinking forward.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted to get a house, and so we just we made sure that we saved up enough to.
Is there any
Be able to reach
advice,
out to
though,
that.
you would tell, like, stay organized, keep your W-2s organized, keep your
Yes.
whatever information, like, so
Yes.
when you do need it, like, here it is. But
Oh,
what would you tell?
exactly. Yeah.
What would you tell a millennial?
I think the biggest thing is, well, with our process, we initially lost actually that house, which was the
Yeah.
most heartbreaking thing I've ever. I was like, I'm done. I don't care anymore. And you were so good in just like calming me down, just being like, okay, we'll stay on the backup list. Like, let's just see what happens. And within a day or two, it worked out and we got it. And honestly, that was like, it was about keeping the faith and it was about being open to something. We kind of look at our house now as like a starter plus house. We were originally kind of looking for like a starter, but like you don't really have in mind like a forever home as a millennial. Like we're so young, we don't know where we're staying, where we're going.
Your
but-
jobs, you both work. You work at a high school.
Yep.
McEachern, throw it out there.
Oh,
yeah, he's branded.
Go Indians.
And I mean, it was really just expanding our horizon to being like, okay, like we can spend a little bit more money with the knowledge that this house is going to last us longer.
Yeah. Because the last family there, they were
They
they
for-
outgrew
Yeah.
the house. They
Yeah.
started like you did.
They did.
Yep.
They did.
There's
They
Just
same
got
thing.
married, moved
18
into the
years.
house,
Yeah.
and then started a family.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
it's, that's what we plan to do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's try to, it's a great house, and we're hoping that it lasts.
It
you
is
know,
a
as many
great
years.
house.
Such
Look
a
at
good
it.
house.
Yeah, it's
It
great.
really is. The yard is amazing. Like, yeah, it's just a great house. That backyard. Have you had some parties out there
We
yet?
have.
We've had a couple of
Thanks
fires
for
out
not
there. and
inviting me. I don't think. Did I miss that? Was my inbox full or something?
I think that was the last second thing we
I'm
one day we were
kidding.
just like, yeah, let's just have a fire back there, get some people over.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
Well, thank you both and congratulations
Thank
you. Thank you,
on
yeah.
like your success and just owning your own home. I mean, I
Yeah.
personally I'm impressed because when I was 24, it would have been nice, but I don't think I could have pulled it off. And in today's world, in today's time, it just
It's
goes
tough.
to show
Yeah.
you came together, you put it together, you made the numbers work.
Yep.
And how is it making that mortgage?
Not bad.
No,
I
yeah.
mean, rent in Atlanta isn't great. Mortgage is fine.
About the same?
It's about the same.
Yeah.
And hopefully at the end of the year, you'll have some equity in your home instead of giving all that money away to one of those big companies who owns a big apartment building. And instead, you're keeping it.
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely.
That's my advice to anybody and
Definitely.
everybody. I had to do the same thing. Move out of the apartment and buy a home. And
Exactly.
at the end of the year, hopefully, the market, just like David Bayman said, will continue to stay steady.
Yeah.
And there's your equity. And there's your
There it is.
savings account.
Perfect.
Thank you,
Perfect.
Ann and James. Thanks so
course.
much.
Thanks for
Anytime.
I hope you're having a
Thank
good
you.
year at school this year.
Oh yeah, we're loving it. But,
Good. Thank you so much. And I just want to remind anybody out there if you are needing any real estate needs or if you have any questions at all, just please reach out to me. My information you'll see on the screen. If Alex will pop that up, that last graphic, feel free to email me, call me, ask any questions. I've got some answers for you. If I don't have the answer, I know exactly where to get it because that's what we do. And thank you so much for joining us today. And gosh, happy weekend and happy holidays. And we will see you next month in January. Happy New Year.